What is up? We're back with a new episode of Comic Book Movie News with a little bit of TV sprinkled in there. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. First off, we have Black Panther 2 to shoot in July. Um, they're currently in talks with Tenoch Huerta from Narcos, Mexico, to star as a villain. Now, I really don't know who he's going to star as. I haven't read anyone saying this is who he's going to be. But what are your thoughts on first them casting a villain, but second, and the bigger idea, they're shooting in July, which is
Yes.
very soon.
I was very surprised. Like I know the film is scheduled for like summer 2022 release. And I honestly wasn't sure if they were gonna hold that just because if they wanted to like take a step back and we're like we will need to like reevaluate like not just Black Panther, the trajectory of like the Black Panther story, but also the trajectory of the MCU. Because at least to my understanding, was like he was gonna be like a very key T'Challa was gonna be a very key figure. So I wasn't sure if they were gonna like like we need time to like reorganize, but the fact that either they seem to like plan out really well in the last like what was it what how long has it been? It's like four months or something, right?
Yeah,
Jeez.
4 months.
Yeah, geez. But like the fact that they seem to have been one, if they've managed to like recover that fast in like the past like few months is pretty it's going to be pretty interesting. Also, I know we've had a conversation, I'm not sure if on the channel, but I know we had a conversation about if they just recasted T'Challa and just so they're just gonna it's the same exact story, same exact trajectory, it's just different actor. Which when will they announce it? I have no idea, but I guess we'll just see. Then the fact that they're just holding to this shoot date is just very interesting because they seem to at least have been able to like at least recover on a just a production technical level that they're like I think we can like keep going, which I wasn't expecting.
I have to be honest. So first, quickly, Tenoch Huerta.
Mhm.
Uh, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Uh, I really liked him in Narcos, but I haven't seen him in anything else, so I don't know, and I don't know the role he's playing, so I can't really judge too much on that. But I think he's a good actor, so like I'm down for that. Second thing, shooting in July, that means they didn't make any big script changes.
Mhm.
And if they haven't made any big script changes, what that means is they haven't written out
Oh,
T'Challa,
mhm.
which means he's still in the film. And
Right.
from what I've read, Shuri's going to take a more prominent role, but it's not going to be a leading role.
Mhm.
So what that tells me is that they've they're at least thinking of recast, like who they're going to recast. I think recasting's a foregone conclusion at this point.
Yeah.
Um, they're at least thinking about it. I have a feeling they've already cast someone, and they're just not going to announce it till right, like as late as possible.
Mhm.
Which they must be really keeping a really
Tight
good
list.
secret because no one's found out. And normally with something as big as that,
Yeah.
someone leaks it. But they must have a if we'll know it's like with George Lucas and The Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm.
It's like I'll know it, the director will know it, and Mark Hamill, you'll know it.
Yeah.
So if anyone else, if we hear about this leak, we'll know it's you and you're done for.
Right.
That must be the situation they're in because we haven't heard anything about that.
Right. I yeah, just the fact that they were just like in the past like 4 months are still like we can make our release date and like use it like assuming like again like unless it was like some insane like restructuring, which was a lot in 4 months, like presumably then yes they must have kept him in the start. I don't know how. I guess we'll just have to see how it unfolds because like I'm like every day I go back and forth since we last had our conversation about this like on the viability of this. I'm just like I'm not against it, but it's just like maybe because it's only still been 3 or 4 months since we lost Chadwick, so it's just kind of like I don't know how to feel about this. Also, it just feels weird if they've managed to just like he passed and they're like, all right, we gotta like not that I'm saying like they didn't obviously like have a mourning period, but I'm just like I don't know what their plans are for this one. Is basically the gist of what I'm saying. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think summer 2022, they shoot July.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough release window still,
Yeah.
starting in July. I mean, I guess they can make it. It's the same thing with Spider Man.
Mm-hmm.
they're still shooting now. They'll probably won't be done until the start of next year.
They'll just
And
go hard at it and post throughout the summer then.
yeah, I guess so. I guess that's kind of how Marvel does it like that, though.
Hmm.
And they can work around it. They have enough money to do that.
Yeah.
But the whole recasting thing's interesting, and I know some people may not be comfortable about it, but like, let's be honest, those conversations are happening, um, and the recasting seems most likely to be happening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people in my mind. I'm not really sure. It's like such a tall order to replace Chadwick.
I would not like, not that like I personally would not, just because would not like want to be that, like 'cause that is insane levels of pressure. This is even beyond like I don't even know, like being the protagonist of the new Star Wars franchise, like with Daisy, we're like this is even like beyond that. It's just especially because of the series of events that have happened. It's gonna, yeah, like you said, it's a tall order to fill.
Yeah, it's I don't think you can get a nobody. That's the thing.
I mean, you never know in this industry. I mean, that's
Right.
how George Lucas found like Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, but like at the same time, it's like again, it's just like who do you put there?
Right. I think my problem with casting a nobody or like someone we haven't heard about before is that this is such an iconic role and character and has such history behind it with Chadwick that you need someone that is going to deliver a great performance.
Yeah, for sure. Can't take any chances.
You can't take a chance with it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a star in this role.
Hmm.
I think it's honestly too bad that Michael B. Jordan played Killmonger for the reason that, him and Chadwick, I believe, were pretty close. And I think having him pass the baton would be there'd be something very poetic about it.
Right, right.
But we're going to move on. Deadpool 3 is moving forward with the writers from Bob's Burgers. Now, I was like, Bob's Burgers? Like, what is that? But
You heard
apparently it's a
Bob's
very good
Burgers?
show.
Oh,
Apparently it's good.
okay.
Uh, so what were your thoughts when you heard there is a Deadpool 3 that's coming, right?
Yeah.
Great news. But when you heard it's coming from the writers of Bob's Burgers and not the original writers of Deadpool 1 and 2, what went through your head?
See, this is tricky because I didn't think I'd ever be reading this headline, because I didn't think, because just like I'm not saying Disney would forever be like we're gonna stay away from like rated R movies, but it's like you own some with the X-Men like characters now. It's like you now own some of the most violent characters in Marvel Comics. You are now making a TV show about Moon Knight, who's also one of the most unhinged, like violent characters in Marvel Comics. So it's like I suppose it was inevitable at some point they'd start like trying to edge closer to like a rated R material. I just will it be the same as it was with Fox? I have no idea. Like a part of me is like, yeah, they'll strive to be like match the tone, but at the same time, a part of me is like, will like I don't like will Disney like go like as far to do that? As for the man, before I go into the Bob's Burgers writers, it's just I don't know. It's interesting. I'm one of the people who was like, if you're gonna include Deadpool, can you make him just like the new cameo person? Like no explanation, just like throw him in there, just like just for sheer like shock entertainment value. Just no, don't explain it. Just have him like roll there. I think that would be a great way to like I don't know, introduce him or just have continue Ryan. So to have Ryan Reynolds, excuse me, like continue being the role. Um, I don't know. It's just a matter of will it be the same rated R, like no holds barred film series we knew from the first two films under Fox? Will it be the same under family friendly Disney? I have no idea. And as for the Bob Burgers writers, I haven't watched all of it. I had like the closest I got to is like there was a day where me and my friends were just watching a marathon like on TV. The humor there is actually like pretty clever from what I saw without context. We didn't even like start from the beginning of the season. From what I saw, the writers are very clever. So it's like if you got a writer from The Simpsons to do this type of thing is the best way to explain it. So it's not the most out there thing for Deadpool's humor. So I'm optimistic about the writers. We'll see what Disney does with it.
Yeah, for me, it's a bummer because Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick were the writers of the first two. And I think a part of it is because they're busy. I can't remember. They're doing two big projects right now. they write together,
Mhm.
and they have two big projects that they're rebooting right now, and I think they may just not have had the time to write this.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they came up with a story idea, because I believe they were in the pitch meetings with Ryan Reynolds about Deadpool 3. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me, internet. But I wouldn't be surprised you see them with a producer or a story by credit, and that this story's basically taken over by the people of Bob's Burgers. I just hope that they have that same communication with Ryan Reynolds, because
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds was a big influence on the actual script.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they're doing Spiderhead and Clue right now, which are two big um, films.
Mhm.
So I just don't think they had time for Marvel's schedule, and Marvel's very strict about they want their schedule to work in a very particular way.
Right. Right.
But as far as the people for Bob's Burgers go, it's really highly rated. Um, it has crass humor, which is what you need in Deadpool. They're clever. I think you combine that with Ryan Reynolds, you can still get a really good Deadpool 3. And now they can make jokes directly about Disney.
Right.
You know, maybe you get a Disney character cameo, doing a cameo in there, or maybe it's him trying to get into the Avengers, like Avengers Tower or whatever. And you know, you could. I think there's no way they don't play with that at all.
I just want an intro scene where it's like Wade's in the middle of doing something and he's like, you're probably wondering how I got here. And then he like pulls out like a whiteboard and he's walking us through like the Fox Disney merger or something like something super like on it was like I'm no longer under the control of like Fox. He like slips on like Mickey Mouse ears. Like if they have something like that, I'll be like, okay, I know the rest of this ride is gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Just because like that would be just the kind of like that's just the type of like material they would like Ryan Reynolds would like perform the hell out of.
yeah. I mean, even something where you're like, you know how everyone has those questions about the Infinity Stones
Mm-hmm.
and how they got returned. What if you had a Captain America cameo
That'd be
where
interesting.
it's Deadpool watching Cap like return the Infinity Stones? Because you know he has that time space watch.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So who knows? He could be in different timelines. Like you could do so. There's so much stuff you can do with Deadpool because he's so meta.
Yeah.
I find it very hard to think that Kevin Feige, you know, it's going to be rated R. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be rated R. And if
It
it's
would,
rated PG
well, I
13,
mean,
people would
they
go
already tried it.
nuts.
They already tried PG-13 with that recut version of Deadpool 2 that didn't like perform like critically or like commercially well. So I think they're like,
Right.
well, I guess we're gonna have to do this like
Yeah.
rated R.
Yeah. Deadpool is Deadpool. And I think it was Alan Horn who said, of course it's going to be rated R.
Mm-hmm.
At CinemaCon. But that's kind of how it goes with Deadpool 3. We're going to move on to the new Justice League trailer that came out in black and white and then they later released in color. Nick, what were your thoughts on that trailer?
Well, I enjoyed it because I enjoyed the first trailer, which it basically is. it's the same. It's the same exact trailer with obviously like a few uh, changes and whatnot. But I mean, I enjoyed the first trailer. I mean, it's just the same trailer. I enjoyed the first trailer, so I enjoyed this one. There's nothing lot to talk about because like even the new shots they he had in there were just like expositional stuff. Even like the shot of like Cyborg looking at the guys, it's like okay, we got that. We know that from like even like the first cut of the film in theater. So it was just the exact same trailer. So I mean, it was just cool. They released it on November 17th, which is like I guess 2020, like the 3-year anniversary of the theatrical cut. So that was I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. Just a little like little meta reference there from Snyder, but I don't know. It was just interesting.
Wasn't that wasn't that also the release of Snyder Cut when like all the big celebrities and all that
that was
people
when
got in
like
on it?
everyone like Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, like that's when like everyone out of nowhere like surged to like because I think that was like another like the movement had another like posting day about to get the hashtag trending, but then all the celebrity weight like came for it like helped there too. So yeah, 1 year anniversary of that as of that whole posting session as well.
Mm-hmm. I think here are my takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool in black and white. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of
Yeah.
liked it in black and white. I heard Zack Snyder saying that's the ideal way to watch it. I don't know if that's how I want to watch that movie. To be perfectly honest, I get it. It's a cool, different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I just hope he's not color grading it that way. He's not.
I don't think so. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But the trailer's good. I mean, not a lot of new shots, like you said. Steppenwolf. Let's talk about how Steppenwolf looks, because
Okay.
in the dark, the dark silver armor, like the popping out, and that's all spiky. But there's this shot, I think, on the island Wonder Woman's from.
Themyscira.
Yeah, and he's standing out in the open. What did you think? How do you think his armor looked at that time?
Talking about the one in the daylight, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay. All right. Not specifically on that shot, but like as an overall thing, I think the redesign, or I guess original design in this case, is I'm interested in it just because I know like Snyder said something like the suit is its own like organism, like it reacts to Steppenwolf like environments and the guy's emotions. So I'm intrigued to see how that operates just as a visual. On the subject of that shot you're talking about, I'm gonna go optimistic here. I think it's a color grading thing because it does look weird. Just because like the way the background is like done, and like the way the silver and the way his like this armor is much more like squashed around his face in a way. Like it just looks. I will not lie. It did look strange. Like the first time I saw it, I was like this. I was like this could have used maybe a little more like Photoshop touching. I don't, because the other shot you have him is when he pops in from the boom tube into the Amazon like safe or whatever, and you kind of see
right.
the spikes go up for the first time. Like that seemed fine, but that was also like under darker lighting circumstances, I guess. But the new shot, I don't know. I think I'll just need to see the it move for lack of a better. I just need to see him like move like I don't know. Like I know he has like I think they still have that tunnel battle with the Justice League. Like I want to see how he goes, like how that all works out, how he looks there. Because I feel like it could look good. I know from that one shot I too was like this looks strange, but I'm just gonna be like optimistic, say it was like a color grading thing, which I
Yeah,
hope they're cleaning up in post. I know they finished their reshoots recently, so yeah.
yeah. I think the thing for me is it looks a little gold,
Mhm.
and I know they're trying to get the light as accurate as possible, but it feels weird because it feels like it blends almost too much in with his face. I don't know. I'm not someone who's a VFX supervisor, right?
Yeah.
This isn't our
Yeah.
area of expertise.
Mhm.
And he can have his vision, he can do what he wants, right? It's his film at the end of the day. Um, but something just feels a little off about that. The rest of the trailer, the original shot where him and Superman are jumping at each other,
Yeah.
like that shot looks amazing.
Mhm.
His introduction scene where he pops down that you were talking about before, and the spikes start coming up, that looks really intimidating. Like I love all that stuff. It's just in the light, it feels like
Yeah.
there's a little
I
bit of work to do.
yeah, I'm gonna assume it's a color grading thing, like as of where they were right now, because I'm gonna assume they kept that whole sequence from the theatrical cut where like he's like fighting the Amazons like outside. So in that case, you're gonna have to like adjust lighting to this new design. So I'm just gonna assume they're gonna just touch it up in post, like I'm assuming other stuff. But I mean, yeah, we'll just see. We'll just have to see whenever it comes out.
Right. And moving on, we have Black Knight and sorry, Black Knight, Black Lightning
Yes.
ending on the CW. Uh, I know this is probably a tough thing for you, but let us know your thoughts on this.
This is admittedly very very shocking just because it's been for fans of the CW DC shows, it's kind of been a rough year because in Arrow ended in 2020, they reached their intended conclusion. Then we lost two actors because Ruby Rose, who's the original Batwoman, she left the role. I think it was due to like an injury. They fired another actor on the Flash because old tweets came up. And then it was just announced a few weeks ago, Supergirl is ending, and now we get hit with Black Lightning ending, and it's kind of like, God damn, this is the universe. It's the franchise took some hits this year. It kind of sucks because I think Black Lightning was a really unique show, just pulling a little from The Incredibles and like having a family at the center of it, having like the hero being like this like older father, like literal father figure, And I think they, especially the first season was so good, and like it was just like a really unique perspective on the whole genre. So it's kind of sad, also especially since like um when you look when you look at it one way, it's like the CW just canceled their black led show and their female led show, and it's kind of like, oof, this looks strange. Granted, Batwoman is now the casted black actress in it, but I don't know. I'll miss the show. Shame they're ending on season 4. I think they definitely had um at least one more season on it, but at least now they get to plan their conclusion properly. I don't think they've started filming yet, so here's to hopefully getting a good conclusion. I know you and I have talked about how hard that can be for TV shows sometimes.
Yeah, TV shows don't usually get to end when they want to. If
Mm,
you're really great, you don't get to end soon enough, and if you're not
yeah.
good, you get to end too soon.
Mhm.
Uh, it's very rare that people end when they want to.
Right, right.
So kind of a bummer. I don't watch the show personally, so I don't really have much to say on it other than it always stinks
Okay.
when a show that people like is going off the air.
Yeah.
We have news that the Green Lantern Corps and Peacemaker are starting to film early 2021. James Gunn recently said that he finished polishing his scripts when somewhere in Canada,
Yeah.
quarantining for 2 weeks. What are your thoughts on the news?
First Peacemaker, well, I'm surprised with how fast like Gunn is moving. Like, he went from filming the Suicide Squad in 2019, and he's been in post this whole year, and then just the fact that he was like, I think I'm gonna go make a television show while prepping for Guardians 3 as well. And now he's like gonna be jumping from this, jumping to Guardians. It's like, damn, these guys, excuse me, this guy's staying busy. I respect that. They also had we talked about the new cast members a few weeks ago. I'm intrigued to see what they do with the show because it's James Gunn directing John Cena. Like that's gotta be that's gotta be a hell of a time. As for Green Lantern Corps, I didn't expect them to start filming so soon. I just thought they would be in like planning stages still, but that's good to hear just because like with like Supergirl and Black Lightning ending, that'll be another like DC show added. So that's exciting to hear they're already gearing up for that.
Yeah, I thought Green Lantern Corp was still writing the show.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe they are, maybe they're like finishing it up, but they're obviously getting ready for production, um, which is exciting. It's exciting, especially because HBO Max needs to get new stuff on it. They have a great library, but they need more new stuff.
Max and Disney Plus like just need like The Mandalorian and like I don't know what else is on Max. Doom Patrol. They can only do so much to carry their respective services.
I mean, Mandalorian's carrying that whole show and the whole streaming service on its back. But yeah, I'm excited about Peacemaker. Like I can't stop getting excited about John, like that the idea of that character that John Cena is playing,
Mhm.
just being like a douchey Captain America. Like that seems like such a thing that I'd want to see.
Right.
As someone who watches The Boys and like these more twisted takes on superheroes or
Right. Right.
superheroes, I really like that. Really think James Gunn can handle this well. I'm impressed how busy he wants to be going Suicide Squad 2. You know what? Oh, or the Suicide Squad as they call
Yeah.
it, the soft reboot that it is.
Mhm.
Uh, and he's like, Guardians is a little time off. I can shoot something. I can write and shoot something else.
It's like
And
I wish I was able to be like I got some time. Let's go write a TV show. It's like I'm hard enough getting out other stuff like that's going on, but yeah, it's definitely really cool to see him doing stuff. Any chance to see John Cena in that costume is
yeah,
always a good. That costume's ridiculous.
yeah. And I think the other thing is just they're obviously confident in Peacemaker's character from the Suicide Squad that James Gunn felt like he could pitch the character. And then Warner Brothers was like, of course, like let's do this right away.
Right, right.
So really excited about that. Um, Ava DuVernay is coming out with a new show on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's called, what is it? DMC. What does it stand for?
DMZ. Um,
DMZ.
it stands for Demilitarized Zone, I believe, because the story is like takes place like alternate future where like America kind of like tore itself apart after Civil War. Go figure, right? And it apparently takes place in like New York City. New York City is like the demilitarized zone. It's kind of like the the area they kind of like annexed from the rest of the country. And I can't remember the rest of the cast, but I do know the main protagonist is Rosario Dawson. So enjoyable in the Marvel Netflix shows. We might see her this week in Mandalorian? Question
Yeah.
mark. So I don't know, just interesting because Rosario Dawson is a reliable actress with Ava DuVernay is another one who's been like really busy lately, like I feel like all sorts of projects that she's got going on.
Wasn't she gonna do a New Gods movie?
Yes, I believe she's still in writing phases with that, and then amongst like the like two other TV shows she also is like setting up right now. She's in like yeah, she's been on fire too.
Yeah, yeah. Her only, I mean, she did have a tough outing on her first blockbuster, A Wrinkle in Time,
Yeah, yeah, but
which is weird because it's like I think Storm Reed's a good actress, and I think Ava DuVernay is a really good filmmaker.
mhm,
In all of her previous projects, you're like if you've seen 13th, the documentary, or Selma,
Selma, yeah.
you'd be like, oh my god, she's amazing.
Mhm.
But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what the story's about. Rosaria Dawson, you mentioned a few shows, like the Marvel shows. I really love her in.
Yeah.
Zombieland 2, she's in.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
she's in the second Zombieland, and she plays a kind of small role, but it's great. It's an awesome role.
that's great to hear. That's good to hear.
Highlight of the film. Her interactions with Woody Harrelson are pretty great.
That's awesome.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that that got a series order. Do you know if they already shot the pilot?
I'm not sure. The Duvernay and like Rosario Dawson like posted like pictures of them like in costumes. I think they might have been like assembling for like a like they're gonna like shoot the pilot and they're gonna be like, okay, like this is what we're like looking to do, and then they're gonna develop it from there. But I don't know, I think they might be gearing up for that soon as well, just because like I know they've been like developing it for a while. So another show for HBO Max to try and sell.
Yeah, and I have a lot of confidence in Warner Brothers because HBO kills it with their shows. They just kill it.
Mhm.
So anything that they're doing, I'm excited. I know that they'll have the right creative process. They're one of the studios that really, really cares about the creative process and the finished product. They don't like just having stuff that gets views. I mean, they don't dislike it, but that's not their goal. They want to have stuff that's critically acclaimed and also popular. So I'm excited about this. But with that, that wraps up this episode of Comic Book News. If you liked the show, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.